y'all doing? Now today, I'm gonna give you a review on my Ryobi 10-inch table saw. Now I've had this for about 6 months now, so I got a good understanding of how it works, its ins and outs, kind of its goods and its bads. So in this review, I'm gonna give you some of the pros and cons, and then at the end, I'm gonna give you my recommendation on if you should buy this or just leave it at the store, save your money up, and get something better. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Pro number one is the most obvious thing, is the price is cheap. Currently it's on the market for $189 at Home Depot, and that's where I picked mine up. Now you can't catch this on sale, so if that's a little bit too much for you, you might want to wait towards a holiday or something like that. Sometimes they put it on sale for a little bit cheaper, but it's one of the cheapest ones you can get on the market. It's under 200 bucks, so you're really not gonna find much cheaper than that unless you kind of buy something used or something like that. Pro number two is the quality and the fit and finish of everything. All the little buttons and knobs and everything that you have to touch is really quality. It all just feels like really solid and like it ain't gonna go nowhere. It ain't gonna fall off or nothing like that. So I really like the quality of this thing. The only thing that I didn't like is the blade insert plate. This thing is made out of plastic and kind of cheap feeling, and little rattles around a little bit, so I don't like that. Pro number three is that this table saw produces really straight cuts. I was really surprised. Straight out of the box, I didn't have to adjust it or change the blade. The blade that comes with this is actually a good quality blade for something standard that comes with this for free. So that was a big plus on there. And like I said, I thought I was gonna have to, adjust it, do something, but straight out of the box, nothing but straight cuts. Pro number four is that this table saw comes with a dust collector, which is a really big plus, especially for a table saw in this price range. A lot of times these real cheap table saws don't come with that. So all them shavings from sawing is getting everywhere. Now I don't know about you, but when I'm done sitting there working for hours, I am not trying to sit there for another hour cleaning up all that mess. So that's a big plus for this. Pro number five is that everything kind of tucks away really nice. Like the fence kind of fits over here, the miter gauge is right here, and even the tools and stuff for to change your blade and everything, and the push stick kind of screws underneath the table really nice. So everything kind of puts away and kind of groups together pretty nice. Pro number six is going to be that this table saw was really easy to assemble. Now, if you need to know how to assemble it, if you're just buying it or if you're about to go buy it, then check out this link right here. In that video, I show you how to assemble it straight from, pulling it out of the box. Now let's move on to cons. The first con is going to be this fence right here. Now, not all the time, but sometimes it's a little bit off. Like when you're moving this from side to side, it's not perfectly parallel. So when you put it on, when you clip it down, it'll be a little bit off up top here than it is down here. Now a way to counter that is to get a nice straight piece of wood that is straight and kind of put that down on here as you're moving it so you know that it's perfectly parallel. Con number two is the insert plate on this thing. It has a pretty wide gap. Now for most cuts, it's not gonna be a big deal. The wood's just gonna go straight over that and you're gonna have no problem. But when you're trying to just cut off just a little bit off of your wood, sometimes 2x4s and 2x6s come with a little bit of rounded edge. If you're trying to just cut that off, like I did right here, that's when you come into a big problem. Because this thing, I've done it myself now, this thing has fell down in there. And you seeing this blade and this piece of wood just ready, just flick back at your face. That is scary, y'all. That thing had me going to the side. I'm looking like, please, please, please don't shoot at me. Trying to shut it off. It's super scary, and you do not want that. Now, a way to fix that is to have a zero clearance blade. Now, I'm pretty sure they don't have one for sale. If somebody knows, please let me know. I'll go buy that. But I'm pretty sure what I'm gonna have to do is just make one myself. So I might have a video on that pretty soon, so look out for that. Con number three is that this thing only came with one little miter gauge slot. Now most table saws come with two, and that might be better. If you're right-handed or left-handed, you might wanna do it on one side rather than the other. Another problem with that is that when you're trying to make those sleds, those little sled jigs where you can, do the cross cut. Now those ones, I don't know if I can even do it. I haven't done it yet because I thought maybe it won't work right, just because the balance might not be right. Usually you have two, so there's 2 points to hold it down. Now with just one, I don't know if it's gonna be perfect or, feel secure enough like that. So that's a con for me. Con number 4 is that this table saw is not very mobile. Now it's easy to assemble if you're just gonna assemble it and keep it in one spot, that's fine. But when you're trying to take this thing apart and move it to a job site back and forth or something like that, or even for me, I'm moving it from, tucked away in my kitchen somewhere to outside, and I'm having to kind of keep doing that. It's not very mobile. For the simple fact is that when you have to disassemble this thing, there's a bunch of screws. And once you take these screws off, now you're left with a handful of screws and really know where to put them. So what I had to do is just put them in a little Ziploc bag and kind of just tape it to the side of it when I'm not using it. Also, the stand itself. Let me take this off here. The stand itself. Now it says it's foldable. This is completely open and this is completely closed. What do you say, 2 inches maybe? This thing is so clunky and just like there's nowhere to put it. It don't sit right, you know what I'm saying? So I actually keep this thing just sitting on my back porch. I don't even keep it in the house no more. I don't got nowhere to put it. Con number 5 is that this table just ain't big enough. Now I thought it looked fine when you're looking at it on the internet and even in person. It looks fine until you start really using this thing. That's when you know that it just isn't big enough. This side here only goes to 7. Thought that would be fine. This one goes to the standard 12, which is, like I said, standard. But this side here, it's not good. That 7 just ain't enough. The problem is your off-cut. Now your off-cut needs something to really hold on to, something to kind of keep it balanced so it's not just tilting and messing up your cut. But it's too small. Another thing is on this side, 12 inches. You thought that would be good enough, right? That's kind of standard. It's not. I was trying to make my step stool / toolbox, and I needed it to be like 12 or 13, just a little bit over, and it just couldn't do it. I wound up having to use my circular saw to make the final cut on it, and that's what I bought this for. So that sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Time for the final verdict. Should you buy this one? Or should you wait, stack up your money, and get you a real one? Well, it kind of depends. If you're a beginner, a weekend DIYer, or just like me, who can't afford no $700 to $1,000, then this is perfect. This is exactly what you need. It makes straight cuts, it's solid. I've had it for over 6 months, and I had one problem, done a bunch of projects, and nothing went wrong. So if that's you, this is perfect. But if you're gonna do this every day, you're gonna make this your career, or you just balling, then I would go out and spend that extra money and get you one of them solid ones. No, now not one with the stand or the wheels. No, none of that. I'm talking about one of them real ones that's just one solid piece of thing and it just sits there and ain't moving because it's too heavy to move. That motor too big to move. Now, if that's you might want to wait. But this one is for beginners and people that's broke. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, appreciate it.
You just leave this up to me. I can show you my world. We can go through it all. You just leave it up to me. Take a trip to the stars. I can show you it all. You just leave it up to me. I can show you my world. We can go through it all. You just leave this up to me. Take a trip to the stars. I can show you it all. Yeah. Look at all this moolah. I got cash now. And a bunch of books in my lap